year, in just the US alone, over 17,000 people are entered into human trafficking. Human trafficking is the illegal transporting of people from one area to another. It can be from one country to another or from one small town to another. These people are taken for all different types of reasons. They're entered into forced labor, they're treated terribly, they have no freedom, they're not paid, and they're considered to be modern-day slaves. One of the major types of trafficking that I want to talk to you about today is sex trafficking. This is the sex trade and exploitation of women and children, and it's the most common type of human trafficking. There are also many other types, such as bonded labor, involuntary domestic servitude, forced child labor, where people and children are forced to work, and also child soldiers, where children are forced to fight in certain countries. Today, I would like to inform you on the worldwide issue of human trafficking and the impact of ending this current issue. The first thing I would like to talk to you about is sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is the most common form of human trafficking. It's when someone is forced to commit or participate in a sexual act or forced to participate in pornography. According to Shared Hope International, it thrives because there's a demand for it. People are paying for this process. The trafficker exploits the victims, and that's how they make their money. The victims include girls, boys, women, and men of all ages, and these people are bought and sold. The victims are found in many ways. One of the major ways is through their social media accounts. Depending on who they let follow them, if their accounts are public or private, and what they post for others to see, are ways that traffickers can find their victims. They are also found at many major public party scenes like clubs or bars. According to the Polaris organization, 1 in every 6 runaway children are human trafficking victims. Over 4.5 million people across the world are forced into sexual exploitation. So now that I have explained what sex trafficking is, I want to explain to you what forced labor is. According to the Department of State, forced labor is when an employer takes advantage of their employees. One major way that this is prevalent is women that are forced into labor. This is also known as domestic servitude. Many of these women are sexually exploited and used. This particular type of trafficking is really hard for authorities to find out because these people have chosen to work for their traffickers. So now that I have explained the 2 major types of human trafficking, I want to tell you about the ways that we can help end human trafficking. California, New York, and even a small town like Wilmington, North Carolina, are major places where human trafficking exists. Major tourist destinations, which people wouldn't think, are a lot of the times where human trafficking is happening. And human trafficking isn't what people see in the movies. So one way that we can help is learning the signs of victims. Human trafficking awareness training is offered across the U.S. in many different places. You just have to know where to look. They're located in police stations, fire departments, homeless shelters, and even some schools offer this type of training. So becoming aware and educating ourselves is a major way that we can help end human trafficking in our world. We can also organize events to raise money for human trafficking. We can meet with our local and state government to see what can be done on this issue. This brings awareness to our leaders, and it also helps to inform everyone else of what's going on in our world involving human trafficking. So in conclusion, I hope that I have informed you all on the issue of human trafficking. This is something that no one should ever have to experience, whether it's forced labor, child soldiers, sex trafficking, anybody should have to experience. I really hope this speech has educated and inspired you to help and make a difference in any way that you can. Thank you.